Hello there, good afternoon, and many thanks for sticking around to your national broadcaster, that is UBC. An interesting kind of conversation is what we are definitely going to be having this very afternoon. And I'm glad you are glued and watching this particular time. I am Joram Paul Sonko, and when I say sensitive and say a topic of high interest is what we're going to be having, our main focus this time around is looking at the 19th NAM and 3rd South Summit. These will be taking place in Uganda in January 2024. When you look at the 3rd South Summit, that will be taking place at the Kampala Serena Hotel, and then also the other side of NAM that will be happening at the Speak Resort in Munyonyo. Now, looking at the 3rd South Summit, does look at bringing a new dynamic kind of cooperation and partnership amongst the 134 member states of the group of 77, if I'm to put it in that way, and it's under the theme, leaving no one behind. And if we mention leaving no one behind, that means even us as the host nation, Uganda, are not supposed to be left behind. Better yet, the private sector in this kind of situation, because we are living in a competitive world where we really need to understand the same kind of discussions that will impact the Ugandans as well as the private sector players. Now, a conversation like this one is of high interest, like you've had. I do have two guests from the Private Sector Foundation of Uganda who are likely to give us every little detail of what to expect come January 2024, including, if I am to note, that is including a very interesting point of view here, that is the East African Business and Investment Summit. It has been launched today at the Kampala Serena Hotel. So you can look at how best we are moving in with our kind of conversations. Now, joining us this afternoon to have all these discussions, I do have Ms. Sarah Kajingo, who is the Vice Chairperson at the Private Sector Foundation of Uganda. A very good afternoon, ma'am, and many thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having us.
All right. And then besides that, I also have a gentleman who is at my far left, or I would say my extreme left. That is none other than Ronnie Mulongo. A very good afternoon, sir. He serves as the Private Sector Foundation of Uganda Member Services Manager. Good afternoon, and many thanks for joining us, sir.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having us at this time.
Okay, and very exciting for the topic that we do have in regards to this particular major summit. But my first question would be, what exactly is the East African Business and Investment Summit? And it will be going to you, Ms. Sarah Kajingo.
Private Sector Foundation Uganda is the apex body of the private sector, whose role it is to ensure businesses thrive. Our board is uniquely structured. We are elected from among over 350 business associations, which is a combined 2.5 million businesses. So the sectors we represent range from ICT, manufacturing, insurance and financial services, professional services, tourism, creatives, tourism and hospitality, over 12 sectors. And true to the theme of leaving no one behind, Uganda has invested immensely. You know that we are constructing a convention center in Munyonyo. We are going to host esteemed international participants from over 120 countries of NAM, 134 of G77 in our country. But the thing is, we are taking this opportunity to partner with the government of the Republic of Uganda to ensure that nobody is left behind, especially those engaged in businesses.
True.
And as you know, majority of Ugandans are employed by the private sector, whether micro, medium, or small, or big. So what's going to happen is that the East African Investment and Business Forum will be a pre-event to the NAM. And over the last few months, we have been seized with preparations. We have set up committees. We are happy that government has enabled the private sector to participate in this in order to ensure that Ugandans really benefit. So 15th we will be setting up, 16th the exhibition kicks off, 17th we will have the investment agencies of all East African countries here in Uganda. They will be pitching, sharing bankable proposals. On the 18th, we will be, the event will be graced by their excellencies of East Africa here at the Kampala Serena Conference Center, ahead of the summit, the summits in Munyonyo, ahead of the NAM, ahead of the G77, and we are working closely with our counterparts in the region, with KEPSA, with our Tanzanian colleagues, because you see, Uganda has been driving in the Coffee Summit, where we are saying, no, we are pushing for the African Union to adopt this as an agenda that progressively Africa should end the trade in raw materials, because we lose so much value if we do not add value. So it makes business sense, because if Kenya, young people, even those already established, they're adding value to products. Tanzania is doing the same thing. South Sudan, Rwanda, Burundi, now Somalia, given the security that is progressively being built, we are going to saturate this East African market with our products. In the long term, in 10 years, it makes business sense for us to start now, penetrate other markets, and there is no other opportunity such as now, the opportunity of such esteemed participants, business leaders from around the world, to showcase what Uganda produces, our products, to showcase our services, to indeed use this as an opportunity to partner with business leaders around the world. And the backward linkages are immense. Take coffee, for example.
Sure.
There is a farmer at production level. You have a processor at mid-level. You have transporters. You have distributors. There is the exporter. So if you manage to get partnerships along these value chains, they trickle down back to Ugandans. Two, our supermarkets, these delegates are going to be buying our products from our supermarkets.
Sure thing.
So we are all going to benefit. But specific to the exhibition, one, I mean, well, we are talking greening, we are talking ESG. So we are going to ensure that the exhibition is over 80% a smart exhibition, where we shall require companies to showcase their using technology to exhibit. So that, I mean, if you have a nice video, you have a platform you have created that you're exhibiting, I mean, then two, we shall have business-to-business engagements, but also business to government, because as businesses, there are challenges we face, and there is no other time than now to be in the same room with government and businesses and sort out policy issues, sort out issues that could be bottleneck to the growth of businesses in the global south. So for us, we're excited and we are looking forward.
And well, to our viewers, if I'm to break this down for you as well, we have 134 member states here of the group of 77. But when you look at the kind of situation, these are huge opportunities. 134, not only the 134 countries, by the way, we also expect other participants in these particular summits. Now, getting to Mr. Ronnie Molongo, in relation to the fact that we shall be hosting 2 summits in January, my viewer out there, the private sector players will want to understand, how does the business forum fit in?
Thank you so much. You know, what is so interesting, this is the first time, you see, we're having the 2 summits in one country. And Uganda, we are blessed to have that. So this is an opportunity for us as the private sector to look into it, especially the opportunities, if you're going into the opportunities of the trade, tourism, and investments. This is a key spotlight for us to come out and shine. You know, one key thing about our country is that people have a feel about the bad things of what the country is on for, but they don't know that the country has beautiful, good things too, especially in terms of products and services. And this is quite key for us as the private sector. And you will know that NAM and G77 is the summit, and that is the political side. But however, Uganda side, we have come up with something that is interesting through the partnership with government and with the guidance of Minister of Foreign Affairs and Minister of Trade. We had to have a sideline event, and that is the Business Forum, which is going to have an exhibition and also an investment meeting conference in it. Now, what is quite interesting is that we as PSFU have come out to work together with other associations who are also members of PSFU, who have come out to work with Uganda Insurers Association, Uganda Bankers Association, Manufacturers Association, Uganda National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Association of Uganda Tour Operators, Uganda Hotel Owners Association. This is quite critical because most of these delegates are going to sleep into these hotels.
Okay.
And then we have got Uganda Tourism Association. So without forgetting also we have MTN on board.
Okay.
And Kasita Uganda. Telecommunications is also there. So this has helped us in such a way that we are building something that is quite critical. We have been having meetings through different subcommittees to ensure that we have a very good business forum that is going to be very successful. And we have a buy-in of the government already through Minister of Trade, Uganda Investment Authority coming in, Uganda Free Zones Authority, the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development is also in it, and Uganda Tourism Board. Okay. And we are saying, we as the private sector, now we have built this together with the government through PPP because we can work together. You know, they say that when you work together, you achieve a lot. Now, government and private sector are working together to ensure that we have a successful business forum and exhibition together with investment. Now, on the investment side, we are having the Uganda Investment Authority discussing with the counterparts in the region. And that is from Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, coming into Uganda. So that at the end of the day, on day 18, we have a pitching to the business communities. That these business communities that are coming in from the Arab world to India, to attract them. Because if you look at currently our market in the East African region, now DR Congo is on, and soon Somalia is to join, you find that the market is big. So for us as private sector, we are quite excited. Now, the spotlight goes into the sectors that have been mentioned.
Because I wanted to understand, you did put three bigger sectors. You mentioned tourism, trade,
Yes.
investment as well. Looking at it, do we have priorities under these specific sectors that you're focusing on as the Private Sector Foundation?
No, when you look at all those sectors, first of all, they are all a priority.
Okay.
For instance, if I'm looking at tourism, as tourism, you know, tourism, for it, since the time immemorial when COVID hit us,
yes,
it has been affected. And now we are getting back onto that limelight of running the race with them. So